So to you, what is dating?
Like Mark said earlier, it's one type of dating, and that's dating for marriage. It's no other type. It's all kind of other types of dating. It's dating to fuck. It's dating to have conversation. It's dating for boredom. I know women who call men just because they're hungry. And they go
Oh,
on a
not
date
the foodie calls.
just to
Booty
eat.
calls. Booty calls, right.
Booty calls. I don't know. It's all learning experience though. But I don't do booty calls anymore. One night stands. That was all learning. Right now, dating for marriage is like probably the number one. It should be the number one thing going. I think that should be the only reason for dating, honestly.
Mm,
Depending on what y'all talk about, but at the beginning, it's all about intentions. Because a guy could tell a girl he dating for marriage, but he really just trying to smash. He's just trying to clap some cheeks. But I know
mm.
women are very intuitive, so they able to pick up on that stuff. Some of them ignore it though. But
Say courting is specifically dating for
dating for marriage,
marriage, and
yes,
everything else is just open.
it's kind of play. If you really think about it, if everybody was able to keep it totally real, it would be a different world. If everybody would just it had their intentions on their forehead, I think dating would be easier. You'd
Mm.
be able to find what you want quicker. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, that's
go
true.
ahead, Mark.
Mark, what you
I say this. Dating is simply gathering information. That's all it is, right? How you gather the information is the determination what makes it different, right? Like he was saying before, you're dating for just to hang out, you're dating just to have sex, you're dating just for marriage, you're dating for whatever. You still gathering information regardless, right? So
Mhm.
it is gathering information. And so let's say, for instance, if you're gathering information to move to the next stage, which would be courting, at that time you gathering information just to see to make sure if you could she's able to move to the next phase, right? And that will be,
Mhm.
of course, that's courting. So courting would be at that point in introduction to mother, introduction to children, a little bit more in introduction into how am I handling my affairs, because after that what happens, you marry, so you want to make sure you follow those steps, because the courting phase is to make sure that you can you can get along with the in-laws. You got to or make adjustments. You got to make those adjustments before you get married, right? So the courting
Mhm.
stage will allow you to see all that, and then you're able to determine if you want to move to the next stage, which would be
Mm. I like that. I like that.
marriage.
Okay.
Facts. I'm learning from Mark. Let's go,
But
Mark.
Yeah. So right.
are men okay with women dating multiple people? Do you consider dating like it's just me and you, or is it open?
Well, I'll say this. Um, if you're gonna take the time out to slide me in your schedule, you definitely gonna have to balance yourself, right? The moment I feel like I know that you're out dating, and then at that next phase, we don't spend the proper enough time to see if I can, check your resume and you check mine, then I'm gonna have to let you go, right? Because you're not able to balance it, right? How are you going to be able to get to know who I am if you jumping around too much, right? That's a waste of all of our times. So yeah, you can date whoever you want to date, but make sure that it's I want my third or fourth or whatever you dishing, because I want to see if it's right for me. You see, so that's what I would say.
So are you saying that you don't date multiple people? Are you like
I
you
mean,
focus on one person?
everybody has somebody in the beginning. Let's be honest, right? It's somebody we can all pick up the phone and what I'm saying, and get an oil change. You know what I mean? Anybody can dip the stick and get an oil change. At any point. You know what I
Get
mean? That's not no mystery. You know what I mean? So there's a time limit just on it, right? Everybody knows it's based on how you feel at that time on the direction you should go. Ain't no time to it. It's how you feel, not what you think, right? Not when you think we should be together. So we should know how that feels. So there has to be a time limit on it, especially when you're dating multiple people. So
I agree with that. I agree with that. But have you ever tried to read 4 books at one time?
right, that's right. Now, thank you,
And
thank
like
you
you
for touch
said
that.
before, dating is gathering information, and you got all this information at one time. Honestly, Um, I'm multi-talented, but I'm not much of a multitasker. So
Okay.
Mm,
I would rather you take your time if you're really serious. You don't test drive 50 cars at one time. If you're really serious, you're gonna take it one at a time, one date at a time. You take 4 people at one time. What are you doing? What's
no,
your
okay, but look, but nah, but okay, but in the beginning, when we talked about like the different stages of dating, right? So we talking
Right.
about, you mentioned like, dating for sex, dating for foodie calls, dating for a purpose. So we're not at the courting stage, right? We're not at the,
oh
I
god.
made a
Right.
decision that I want to move forward to something, serious with you. This is the gathering information phase. So
Hmm.
are you
Right.
saying that it should be locked down to one person at a time?
Yeah, well, not locked down, but give that person the consideration. Yes, one at a
Okay.
time. Because I'm
Yeah.
like,
I
man,
can
if
see.
if you let me know, oh yeah, I'm dating 4 other guys right now, that's a deal breaker for me. I'm
Okay.
out of here. You for the streets. That's how I feel.
Even
Like
if it
Right.
doesn't mean that like
it don't
dating.
gotta mean sex
Okay.
because spending time is depending on spending time is quality. Like that's why secretaries cheat with bosses because they spend his quality time together. So even just time, even if you don't like a person so much, but they like you spending time with them and you building that up. You get what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
uh, you that's
Oh,
making me think like it's a damn competition. I used to play semi-pro basketball.
yeah.
Is this a tournament? I'm good.
Eh,
I'm gonna move
Right.
on to the
Right.
next because I know my worth. I'm not gonna be part of a harem.
Right.
That's not gonna.
Okay.
Right. And then too, I think it's a benefit. Now I see it both ways, but again, I see a benefit if you lock in with somebody because honestly, no matter how much information you gather, if you ain't balanced and you know what it is that you want, and you don't know, exactly what it is and how to get it, you, you got to. If you're balanced, you can definitely figure it out faster if you're one on one. I
Hmm.
guarantee you. If you tap into your intuition and your discernment, and it will, you can probably decipher faster with one person. It's
Hmm.
very possible. You see what I'm saying? If you're balanced and you know what it is. Now, if you out here zigzagging, I mean, continue to zigzag, and you may luck up on the right one. Shit.
If your intuition is on point, you could do 40 dates and 40 nights.
I'm gonna fuck you up
If it's on
Right.
point, cause
if
It's
it's
on
yo,
so
point.
quick.
I listen. I go to the. I get turned off too easy. I think that's another problem. I need to work on if I'm been traumatized in some type of way. This is all the things I'm working on right now before I even date because it's crazy out here, man. But
Hmm.
if your discernment and your intuition is on point, you'll see something in
You
somebody
can't
and be
you
like,
see it.
gone. Because one
You're
thing
right.
that women do because they love hard is they'll ignore those signs just
Right.
Mm.
to get what they feel like they desire, but they end up getting
Right.
a result that they never wanted in the first place. So, don't ignore them signs. That first self that speak, that first voice is God. Telling you.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
God. So don't ignore it. We always listen to the second voice, the one that convinces us not
Not
to
to
do what the
do
first voice tells us to
it. Right.
do. Kind of like the angel, the devil, or the children, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? But
Right.
yeah, so to
Yeah,
me, one at a
you'll
time.
say your whole self time. Right.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
Yeah.
think I think you spreading yourself real thin trying to go on all them dates. I think to tell you the truth, your ancestors or whatever you believe in will draw in the person for you if you take it serious. You get what I'm
Mm.
saying? Because it's not
Yeah.
like a team thing, it's a one-on-one.
It is.
That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
I
you gotta
love
speak
that.
stuff. You gotta speak stuff into existence too. That's the main key. If you're gonna get out here and say I want a date, you gotta have a positive dating mind.
Intention. Yep.
Right. And then look, there's in sales, I think I said this before, but in sales, they say for every 10 no's, eventually you're gonna get a yes, but you gotta keep believing in the process.
Hmm.
It's the same thing with dating, right? If you keep running into bad 10 times in a row, right? And you go on bad dates, you always gotta keep the mind focused on what it is you want and don't allow it to deter you, because the moment you start getting a mindset of it being bad or terrible, then it's gonna stay bad and terrible.
Yep.